how you doing? It's Brooke and I hope your day is going great. Today I wanted to hit you guys up with a drugstore makeup kit. This is basically something that if you're new to makeup, you can go to these products. They're very inexpensive. And yeah, so if you want maybe like a high-end starter kit, let me know. These aren't just things that you should buy if you're a beginner. These are honestly things you should buy if you've been using makeup for 20 years. These are still great. So they are obviously a little bit more user-friendly. I have a bunch of things in this bag to show you guys, and let's get into it. Okay, so I'm gonna start off with kind of doing this in the order that you are applying makeup. I don't have a primer though, just because, I don't know, everyone is different with their skin type. You might have oily skin, you might have dry skin, you might have sensitive skin, and I'm not really sure what you personally would have. So maybe just Google that or search it on YouTube, like best drugstore primer for oily or for dry skin, you know what I mean? But yeah, I didn't want to like throw this at you guys and you buy it and not work for you because it's not for your skin type. First product I have is a foundation. This is my favorite one of all time. I've heard that it's great for oily skin and I have dry skin personally, and it's great for me. So this is the CoverGirl Outlast Stay Fabulous 3-in-1 foundation, and mine is in the shade Classic Ivory. It comes with a pump, which is great. Mine is basically all gone. I've been having to open it up recently and like slather it on my face because it won't even pump anymore. This is incredible. It's very full coverage, but at the same time, you have to build it up to get there. So it kind of starts with like a medium coverage, and if you put on another layer, you get up to full. So yeah, I'm really into this. And also, if you want to see me do a drugstore makeup tutorial for beginners, for middle schoolers with these products, let me know. I think that would be like kind of a cool thing to do, you know, me using these products in like a part 2 of this video. So leave me a comment below if you want to see me doing a tutorial with these products that I'm mentioning for you guys. So that could be fun. It could be fun. My personal favorite concealer at the drugstore is the Maybelline Age Rewind Dark Circle eraser. This is in the neutralizer shade. They have a bunch of different shades. Personally, for me, isn't enough coverage for everything I need in a concealer. I need something to take out my dark circles and then also highlight. But I think if you're starting out with makeup, you don't need all of that, so I think this is perfect. Now for powder, if you have oily skin, you will definitely want to have a powder. If you have dry skin, you don't need a powder. I know people will say you need a powder to set your foundation, but honestly, like, I don't feel like I need it. But if you feel like you do, if you have dry skin or if you have oily skin, this is incredible. This is the Rimmel Stay Matte. Mine is in 03 Natural, and this is just a very nice powder. It gives a little bit of coverage, nothing too crazy though, and it's very inexpensive as well. I've heard this controls oils pretty well. You probably would need a blot throughout the day if you're very oily, but you know, for some oily girls out there, this might be a nice option for you. I'm weird. I have 2 options for blush, bronzer, and highlighter. I have one if you're in Europe and I have one if you're in America. So I'll start off with the European one. If you're in Europe, I recommend this. I'm pretty sure this is drugstore. I could be wrong, but I hope it is drugstore. This is from Sleek, and this is their Face Form Contouring and Blush Palette. Mine is in light. I got this from my friend Annie, and I think this is so great, you guys. So basically it comes with a bronzer, a highlighter, and a blush. Just incredible. So I think if you are in Europe, you should definitely pick this up. The bronzer, and this is my absolute favorite bronzer of all time. I have that on right now, and it's just incredible. But if you're in America, like me, I would recommend this. This is from City Color, and this is their Sunkissed Trio. Mine is in Golden, and this is pretty darn good. So you have a highlighter, a bronzer, and a blush. They are all shimmery though. In the other palette I showed you, the bronzer was matte, but the other 2 are shimmery. These are all shimmery, but that's because it's like sun-kissed, and I think that might be okay because you're starting off, you know, you're not probably going for like a super defined look, so it's just gonna give you some color. Very nice and pigmented as well, and I think it's great. You can buy this at Five Below. If you don't have a Five Below around you, I would recommend the e.l.f. blushes. Those are great. You can find those at Target. They also have a blush and bronzer duo from e.l.f., which is great as well. So that's amazing. Most people really don't go for highlighter, I feel like, when they start, or maybe don't go for blush, or maybe don't go for bronzer. So if you can find something that kind of has all of them, that's great. I know this isn't as accessible as everything else is, but this is honestly incredible, and I just had to show it to you guys. For primers, this is the e.l.f. eyelid primer. This is, I think, $1. It might be up to $2 now. e.l.f. is like slowly increasing their prices, which is not okay. But basically, you just put this on, rub it on your eyelids. It just primes your eyes for your eyeshadow or cream shadow or whatever you're about to put on. So this is great. This is not going to give you a color though, so this is basically just going to kind of blend away to nothingness, but it will have a good staying power. Now, I don't know if you have very oily eyelids, what would be good for you. This is good for me. I don't really have trouble with my eyeshadow falling off my face or anything, so I love this. I think it's great, but it might not be the best option if you have oily skin. I like it if you have, you know, normal dry eyelids, whatever. Now I have different eyeshadow options. I'm gonna run through them kind of quickly. I recommend the Color Tattoos from Maybelline. This one is in Batch the Bronze, and it's just a nice brown shimmery kind of color, but if you want something a little bit different, maybe this is more of a cream. This is more of like a very soft powder, but it is a cream at the same time. So this one feels a lot more creamier almost. I can't really explain it. If you have these both, you know what I mean. This one feels soft and it feels like it's a powder, but it is a cream. This one feels like a cream, but it's great too, if that makes sense. I don't know. But these are the L'Oreal Infallible eyeshadows. I would recommend the shade Amber Rush if you're starting out. For this one, I think this is a good shade, but I don't know, you might want to go a little bit lighter. If you want to do powder shadows, those are very easy. I would recommend the Wet n Wild eyeshadows. I know everyone really recommends these, but that's because they're inexpensive and they're incredible. So this is the Comfort Zone palette. This has 8 shades in here. You can just focus on the lighter ones if you want. You don't have to go super dark, but you can, and they're there for that, which I like. This is a Walking on Eggshells trio, like this as well. They have so many different ones. These are just the 2 I picked for my collection, but they're very inexpensive. You can find them honestly anywhere, and I think these are great, especially if you're a beginner. They're very easy to blend. These are all very shimmery, but if you are into the shimmer, which I feel like most beginners are, these are great. Or honestly, if you want to have a bronzer or if you want to have some eyeshadow, you could buy face powders in those appropriate shades. Like, you can be creative with it. For eyebrows, I have 2 options. I have a powder option and kind of like a marker option, but it's not as scary as it sounds, I promise. This is the NYC Browser Brush On Brow Kit in Brunette. They only have 1 shade. I have used this on my redheaded friend, my blonde mother, and my brunette self. It just depends on how much pressure you apply. So it is really good. It also comes with the gel if you want to set your eyebrows or if you want to put that on first. You can totally do that. This is good. I don't hear really a lot of people talking about this, but it is slightly warm toned. It's not a neutral or a cool tone though, so maybe just keep that in mind when you're buying it. Warm tone basically kind of brings out more of a red look to the eyebrows, but depending on how much you put on and how you blend it, it could be okay. So I like it. I believe this is at Ulta, and I think it is Drugstore. It's around like $7 maybe. This is the Catrice Long Lasting Brow Definer. Mine is in 40 Bradley Presents. I talk about this all the time. I love it. Basically, it's kind of like a felt tip pen, and it is incredible. You have to apply some pressure to get this out. It's not like you touch it to your face and it leaves this huge, intense black mark on your face. You know, it's very gentle, and you have to just like kind of brush it through your eyebrows and you get a really nice look. It's very thin, looks very natural, and it looks like little hairs, and I like that a lot. So I'd recommend this, especially if you're starting out or if you're just not really good at eyebrows. I'm horrible at them, and I think this has really improved my eyebrow game a lot, so I like it. For applying the powder product, I would recommend this e.l.f. small angled brush. It's very generic. You can find little angled brushes like this anywhere, but I like the e.l.f. one. You can also pick up this Sonia Kashuk little brow thing. This side just kind of combs through your eyebrows a little bit. You can buy a spoolie. I'm sure e.l.f. has something too if you want to go a little bit cheaper. I forgot to show you guys, but I have 3 e.l.f. eye brushes. These are incredible. These are from their cheaper line in e.l.f. I think, once again, these are $1 or $2. I can't remember. This is the Professional eyeshadow brush, so it's just a flat top brush, good for putting color all over your lid. If you want to put something in the crease or under your eyebrow or something, you can use the Professional Blending Eye Brush, and it has like a little bit of a dome to it. These are really soft, The face brushes from e.l.f. that are white are very scratchy, but the eye ones are incredible. And lastly, this is the e.l.f. Professional Defining Eye Brush, and it has a slight angle to it, that's the word. And this is good for putting things under your lashes. If you want to do a little bit more of a smoky look, you could do this. You could put this in your crease. You could honestly use this all over your lid. You could use this under your eyebrow. I just love this brush. It's my favorite brush, I think, of all time. It's so versatile. It's so great. I love it. Next, I have the e.l.f. liquid eyeliner. If you even want to do a liquid liner on the top, this is what I would recommend. If you want to try liquid liner, start with the cheaper one. That is good quality. What I feel like a lot of people do like to do is put something on their waterline. So this is the Rimmel Scandalized Waterproof Kohl Kajal eyeliner. This is in nude. They also have a black one. These are incredible. They're so creamy, they're so soft, and I love them a lot, so I would recommend buying these. They're very inexpensive as well. I would recommend an eyelash curler. This is just from e.l.f. It's very inexpensive. And then this is the Falsies from Maybelline. I think this is a good mascara for beginners, for anybody honestly. This is what it looks like. I think any mascara from Maybelline is great. And for all the face products I mentioned, you can honestly use this e.l.f. complexion brush. This is great for all powder products, and you can use it for blush, bronzer, highlighter, powder, anything. So this is $3 and it's very, very versatile. That's what I used for every single face powder for such a long time before I invested in brushes. So I really like this. If you're into lip glosses, e.l.f. has good ones. I don't love lip glosses. I know a lot of beginners do like them though. So these are inexpensive and they're not super sticky. They just kind of feel like a cream on the lips. So these are the e.l.f. Hyper Shine glosses. I enjoy these. But I personally hate lip glosses, but if I had to wear some, I would wear them by e.l.f. This is the Revlon Matte Balm. Mine is in Sultry. Basically, any kind of balm like this is great because it gives you some color, but it's not like a lipstick where you have to keep up with, you know? So this is what it looks like. Any of the shades in here are good. I've heard Honey is a really great shade as well from Revlon, so maybe check that out. If you do want to buy lipsticks, I love the Wet n Wild ones and I love the Revlon ones. If you're into lipsticks, check those out, but if you're not, this is what this is. So also I love the L'Oreal Le Matte. Mine is in Matter of Fact. Mine is like more of an intense color. I feel like most beginners wouldn't want to do this, but if you do, I recommend it. But any of the shades in this line are probably as incredible as this one, and they just wear so nicely on the lips. They're very, very comfortable, so I would recommend these two lip products. If you are watching this and you're like, but Brooke, I don't want eyeshadow or I don't want eyeliner, don't buy it. Just buy the things in here that you were like, I've been looking for like a powder like that or something, you know? So these are just little items that I would recommend. Don't buy all of them by any means if you don't feel like you want all of them. These are just some things that I like that I think you would enjoy, especially as a beginner. They're pretty easy to work with. So thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to subscribe, comment, thumbs up, and all the jazz. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys!